$3,000? For the sake of everybody in the bank, act like here and up. Act like you got some sense. You might get a little bit of this here. Not money. This is hope money. I hope you get out there and do your thing. And check it out. Hey, yeah. You know what I'm saying? All right, you can fold that. 3,000. I'm telling you. Don't mess it up for everybody. Greyhound don't float on water.
Here in London for the first time to perform for you live, Johnny Volta, Benjamin Andre, Dookie on drums, Possum Jenkins, and Andre Ice Cold 3000. Performing their smash hit Hey Ya. Ladies and gents, I give you
Beloved.
Try to fight the feeling, cause the thought alone is killing me right now. For mom and dad for sticking two together, cause we don't know how. You got it, oh you think you got it, but got it, just don't get it till there's nothing at all. Oh, we get together, but separate's awful better when there's feelings involved. Nothing is forever. Love the exception. Right. Did you guys get a chance to check out the article? The full video proves cop targeting constitutionalists despite sheriff's claim. If not, here you go.
Hey,
so what is this for? What do you got? What is this?
This is basically a rolling, like a shield for us, for a team to hide behind.
What situation would you be in that you would need to pull this out?
We have guys that shoot at police officers. So like they have AK-47s or automatic weapons, and they shoot at us. And this is like a rolling, we can use this as a shield to move the team.
I mean, that's what do you call that kind of a vehicle?
This is a MRAP, they call it.
MRAP, wow.
So it's a military surplus vehicle the military went away from.
But now the local police are using it for rioters or things like that, like Black Friday. You just have Black Friday. That could have been a situation.
Basically, it's just it's cover for our team movements. It's bulletproof. So there's a lot of people out there with heavy machine guns and heavy weapons, and we use it. It's bulletproof, so we can use it as a shield.
And I know there's a lot of people concerned in that the military turning on our own citizens in case there were some event that would trigger that. How do you guys feel about that? Constitutionally, Obama's just kind of stepping all over anything constitutional right now, so I think people are really afraid of their government right now. And then when you see this kind of a vehicle I mean, it seems like this is a campaign, right? All these police officers out in front of Walmart.
It's not a campaign, we're shopping for children.
You are? Okay, so there's something else. Okay. Oh, sure. But you know, from a parent, from a citizen.
The kids love to see this stuff for the SWAT team and stuff.
Sure. Yeah, well, my son would too.
Yeah.
But then as a citizen and someone who's raising children in a world that I don't know what it's going to look like with them, I feel like this is also a kind of a desensitization type of tool where they're going to think it's normal. You know, a lot of kids grow up and AK-47s in the hands of people policing them while they're going to school is normal.
Times are crazy right now. The world.
Yeah.
It's crazy right now.
Everything changed.
Everything's going crazy, so.
I mean, I know you guys are on the front line and you need to be protected, but I know there's a lot of people worried about that turning on citizens who are deemed to be, terrorists, and that is a very loose term now. Who is a terrorist?
It's worldwide.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
So far, I mean, this sounds about right. I mean, right? It's just she's just having a conversation, and if you're aware, you may not like it, but I mean, there hasn't been anything too much. Let's listen to the rest of it.
Well, the nice thing about this piece of equipment is that if somebody is directing fire toward a team that's trying to get in, they safely can pull right through a fire. I don't take enemy fire and still try to address the threat without being feared of getting shot.
So I'm thinking that is totally appropriate in Iraq, but what kind of a situation in the U.S. would you see that happening?
I mean, we've got a lot of constitutionalists and a lot of people that stockpile weapons.
Whoa. Did you hear that? I'll rewind it a little bit. In case you missed that. Listen here.
If you're getting shot.
So I'm thinking that is totally appropriate in Iraq, but what kind of a situation in the U.S. would you see that happening?
I mean, we've got a lot of constitutionalists and a lot of people that stockpile weapons.
We've got a lot of constitutionalists and a lot of people that stockpile weapons. I have my own 50 conclusions that I can come to right now. I'd much rather you come to your own. I'll go through the rest of it here. It's got 2 more minutes.
A lot of ammunition. I mean, we've got a lot of constitutionalists and a lot of people that stockpile weapons. A lot of ammunition. They have weapons here locally.
Do you think that's their right to have those, or do you think that's inappropriate? I mean, because those people don't always turn on their government. They don't turn on the cops unless there's, I guess reason they think to do that. And some of them are pretty in crazy land. Some of them, but
That's worldwide. The world's in sale right now. You look anywhere. You watch the news. You watch
open borders. I know.
We could have this debate. We could all sit here and talk about it all day long. Our thing is here's what for the kids today.
Right.
We're showing our equipment. We're not making it a mystery. It's not
Yeah.
If we get officers that are pinned down, it's a great rescue vehicle to get them out of the situation. I mean, there's been so much to do.
So up there, is that where basically you can attach some type of a automatic
Those are
weapon?
lifting points for a crane.
Oh, okay.
Lift the body off of the. They had to do some work on it or something. Those are lifting points.
Okay. Or dropping points with a helicopter. You had to drop in.
Our helicopter's small.
Okay, wouldn't pick us up.
Oh, man. I mean, there it is, dude. It wasn't taken out of any context. That's what the sheriff said. If you guys follow the story, you'll see he said, oh, well, why don't you play the rest of it? Why don't you play the rest of it? And there's more. I'm just not playing it all because it's conversation. And you already got the point. He straight said he wasn't forced to say it. He didn't. He wasn't coerced in any kind of a way. You heard him say, we have a lot of constitutionalists and people with guns, people with firearms, whatever. So he equates, and then she says, well, don't you think that's their right? I mean, he's equating it to being something wrong, and that's an American police officer. I know, you thought he was going to Brachen Sie Deutschen any second, start asking, papers, please. But no, that's an American. That's scary, isn't it? That's why I said, you're not losing your country, you lost your country. That was in front of a Walmart. You know what I mean? Oh, we're just shopping for the kids, in our MRAP. Just showing it off to the kids while we're getting toys for the kids, all about the kids. MRAP. Okay, back to our reading. The Activist's Almanac, the Concerned Citizen's Guide to the Leading Advocacy Organizations in America. This is the Citizen Activist. It's a small section. Becoming a citizen activist is as simple as picking up a pen or sitting down at a word processor. which is proof that this was published in 1993. Writing letters to legislators or the local newspaper is a useful place to begin. Notices of current key bills are available to anyone who joins a legislative alert network. You can lobby legislators by telephone to their Washington or home offices, or make an appointment to visit when they are back in the district. Join or help organize a local group of a national organization. Learn how to raise money, put out a newsletter, take part in direct action, have fun, and learn from experience. Keep in mind what David Cohen, Dean of Public Interest Lobbyists, concludes. And in quotes, the challenge is to blend the visionary with the mundane. The challenge is to blend the visionary with the mundane. Man, I hope I've given you some things to think about today. I hope you can leave here with something, with anything. You know, other than Jeremy's a little bit obnoxious. And his Dobby impressions are horrible. I hope you leave with something else. We've got, you know, there's quite a bit in this book that I'll end up reading to everybody over time, different sections, the different groups, different types of activists, checkbook activism, you know, people that write checks, and that's how they consider themselves an activist. That's a very potent force to use. You know, getting in touch with the entrepreneurs and things like that, you know. Talks about animal welfare and animal rights act. From animal welfare to animal rights. You know, how that usually changes into activism. And food, shelter, and sustainable development. So this is a good book. It's good to read from. What do you guys think of the InfoWars article? Mikhail Thalen is, and you guys have heard me before, I'm not big on InfoWars, I'm not big on Alex Jones, but I do like Mikhail Thalen. I do like how he reports. I like the work that he does, and so, you know, and again, discern for yourself. What do you think? What do you believe? What do you think that's all about? You know? What does it mean to you? What does it not mean to you? CBD. Charlie Bravo Delta. CBD. That is the chemical in marijuana that treats not only cancer and cures and kills cancer, but they're saying that the THC and the CBD in marijuana both can treat epilepsy. You know, I'm already coming from a biased place where I don't believe a freaking word these people tell me on my television. Then they tell me marijuana is illegal. Then we start to find out all this stuff. Now I'm seeing that we are run by evil, and marijuana is illegal because it seems to be a magical plant. You know? I mean, think about how much money there is in sick people. And let's just think about cancer. You know? Just cancer alone is a multi-gazillion-dollar industry. You start giving everybody something that treats it and cures it, and they don't have to take all these pills and then all the side effects, because, you know, they give you a pill and then they say, well, this pill has side effects, so you got to take these other pills. And then they say, well, we gave you those other pills, and, you know, one of them makes you retain water, so here's a blood thinner, and then because of those, you got to take these. And before you know it, you're eating more pills than you are food. But if there was a plant or a succession of plants, apricot seed, marijuana, things like this, that the natives used for, you know, until we killed them, you know, and then we find out that it's illegal, and then we find out that the father of the U.S. Mint, who was mysteriously gone for 20 years. And before he left, he was like, hey, I'm going to go study alchemy. Right? He was a head of state. So then he's gone for 20 years. You don't hear nothing. There's nothing publicized, nothing. He comes back after studying alchemy for 20 years, and he fathers the U.S. Mint. I know that you think alchemy is turning lead into gold, right? That's just what it was famous for, because everybody wanted gold. They wanted greed to drive them and guide them. But alchemy was taking the energy out of one object, putting it into another, and transforming or transmuting that object on an energy level and on a physical level. Alchemy is the origins of all of our science today. We had alchemists, Nostradamus, Da Vinci, Michelangelo, and they made their own paints because they were alchemists, and that's our first form of science. That's why Galileo was almost killed in the Vatican over a math equation. It all goes back to the alchemaic practices, Look at Falconelli's book. Falconelli is a fake name, obviously. But it's Falconelli's Mystery of the Cathedrals. He talks about alchemy. Well, this guy freaking fathers the U.S. Mint, and then shortly after, we get a bunch of doctors that say marijuana should be illegal when all our founding fathers were surrounded by fields of cannabis. They knew something about this plant, people. Now, this is just my theory, okay? This is just my thinking, but I think they knew something about that plant made it illegal because of it, because it's like a magical plant. If you can bastardize everything that's good, the people become helpless. We've bastardized our own militias. We're bastardizing this plant, and it's senseless. It's needless. Let's discern for ourselves. Let's see if smoking weed makes us want to go kill people or eat a sandwich and cuddle. Because if you smoke that and you eat a sandwich and cuddle, you're going to start thinking for yourself. You're gonna, you know what? Somebody lied to me. What else did these people lie to me about? Because I don't feel like killing anything except for the food in my fridge. You know what I mean? Let's just see. Let's figure it out for ourselves. Let's be Timothy Leary when he wrote Tune In, Turn On, Drop Out. He talked about the bravery of what it was to eat LSD. He talked about the courage that it took to step so far outside of the norm and do something that could possibly be dangerous in other people's minds. He talked about the courageous spirit that it took to do that, to discern that for yourself. Joe Rogan, who is now a public figure, talks about psilocybin mushrooms. He talks about the different chemicals and the different effects and how they can give you a spiritual awakening. I don't know, like the Indians that did it for thousands of years. The same Indians that when they were told the story of Moses, they said, let me get this straight. Your magic is cool, my magic is not. And the Christians were like, well, no, yours is magic, mine is God. And they were like, yeah, okay, I get that. And in your 10 Commandments, it even says, thou shalt not worship any strange gods before me, giving credence to the fact, lending the credence that there are the existence of other gods. I've told you that we know many gods, and there's different ways that we contact these different gods. So your commandments even tell you about the existence of these gods, but because you're pretty sure the interpretive writing says, thou shalt not worship any strange gods before me, that my gods are strange. And then your God admits his own imperfection and says, for I am a jealous God. But you want me to say that he's all perfect, all knowing, all wise, all great. And that my magic is garbage. You realize your Moses threw down a staff and it turned into a snake that ate 2 other snakes, right? You get that? Anybody forget that? Magic. Waters parting, magic. The stuff the Indians were doing, magic. It's all accessible to us. There are principles that we're taught to ignore. I believe that when it comes to that plant, marijuana, that's one of them because it can be helpful towards us. And there's so much evidence now that lends to that. Scientific evidence that the United States still will not allow research on. So we're getting it from around the world. We're getting it from everywhere. And if it was coming from us, I probably wouldn't believe it anyway. And I don't believe, more than half of what I hear from everybody else. But discerning for myself, I see, all right, look, Two blue-collar parents never done a drug in their life, right? They don't even like aspirin because it's just, because you don't even know what's in it. They're trying to, like, eat right, work hard, you know what I mean, live healthy, raise their kid. Their kid gets sick. Their kid gets cancer. They take them to the doctors. They have complete and total trust in the doctors like we're taught to, So the doctors are like, all right, let me see what pill your child needs. And because they don't practice medicine anymore, they don't even practice heroic medicine anymore. They just practice big pharma medicine, which says if you come in and you have these symptoms, they seriously scroll with their finger through the page and find what pill it is. Okay, this symptom, you get Paxil. Now pay attention to the TV because in 3 months there's going to be a lawsuit for this and you might be able to join that. And that's if you don't grow a third boob and die. I mean, we all see it. We all see it for what it is. But these parents, they're just straight edge as can be. They've always done the right thing. They work hard. They pay their taxes. They go to work. They da-da-da-da-da. They have a kid. The kid gets sick, has cancer. The doctors are giving this child so many different pills, none of which are working. None. They label him terminal. The parents are desperate. One way or another, they get associated with this farm that's growing plants only for the, not the THC, but, I forgot it again, all quick. The other chemical, the OCB, I believe, or CBD. Can't remember what it is, but they find out there's a farm that's growing this. And, at this point, their child is going to die. And because their kid is going to die, they say, you know what? At this point, it doesn't matter. At this point, let's see what we can do to save the child's life, save our kid's life. It doesn't matter if this is something that was considered illegal or I don't care. My child is going to die. And CBD, thank you, Charlie Bravo Delta. And so they get the CBD, and all of a sudden, the kid starts to get healthy. The kid starts to come around. And before you know it, the kid is all right and isn't taking the pills. Look, man, I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to tell you I'm a freaking doctor. I'm not. I'm a dude who's looking around, seeing this stuff for myself, going, wait a minute. I can take a pill that's going to give me multiple personalities and anal leakage, or I can deal with this plant that is probably going to get me high, make me feel better, and cure the cancer. Or you take the part that doesn't get you high and still cures the cancer, and you don't have all of the side effects. You carry cannabinoids naturally in your body, just like you do fluoride, just like you do potassium, just like you do all these other things. You carry cannabinoids naturally in your body. The tetrahydrocannabinol is what gets you high. I don't know that that's not supposed to be in our system. It was already there. DNA brought it. So what do? Do we live so counterintuitive because we were told it was the right thing? Or do we start to decide for ourselves? Do we start to see for ourselves, you know what, I'm just sick of what I'm being told. I'm going to decide this for myself, and whatever my decision is my decision. And I think that's what has to happen. Yeah, and pot work, Miss C Gypsy was, and she knows about this. She's told me a lot about this. This is, again, I mean, this doesn't work unless it's all of us. I learn from everybody around me. I'm like a freaking human sponge for other people. And she said pot works best with an immune system that is still intact. And it isn't intact after chemo and radiation. That's heroic medicine right there. They go in with overwhelming force, kind of like the United States military. We have the same kind of thinking all the way across the board. And they go in with overwhelming force and they kill everything that's good and bad. Yeah, Joe said the restless leg pills cause gambling and promiscuity. Yep. Do you have restless leg syndrome? No, dude, I like to bounce my leg. Back off. It doesn't mean it's a syndrome. Back off, because that's not cool. All those pills, you don't even know what's in them. You have no freaking clue what's in those. But I can tell you that if you pay attention to the TV for the next 3 to 4 months, you'll see a lawsuit on the television for the pill that you're taking. Who else wants to say these kind of things publicly? You know what I mean? Come on, man. We all see this for what this is. We all know exactly what this is. It's poison and you're killing us. No wonder we're looking for alternative medicines. No wonder we're looking for alternative sources. Doctors, lawyers, police, judges, you have all lost your positions of trust as far as millions of us are concerned. We're changing the game and we're coming for our country. To the rest of the people in the world, whether it's Mexico, Canada, England, France, the fact is we understand our position in the world. The citizenry is so disconnected from its ruling class. We hope that you can recognize that. That we hope that you can understand how polarized we have been as a society. A lot of us are just now waking up out of our funk. But make no mistake, we're waking up at an exponential rate. All it took was the dissolving of our middle class for people to go, you know what? I'm still working really hard, if not harder, and I don't have the same amount to show for it. It's not even close. It's barely even comparable. You know, there wasn't nothing like that. You know, it's nothing like a wake-up call like that. It's a big old smack to the face to all of us. And, you know, I think that's about where I'm going to end it today, guys. You know I won't shut up. I'll just go forever. You'll never get rid of me. I will go nowhere. So, I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody joining. I appreciate Right Site Media Network allowing me to do my thing and going over a little bit today. Thank you, Tyler, for running the tech stuff. Thank you, Keith, for the opportunity. You guys are helping us grow, too. We've got 3 more DJs that are going to be joining us over the next couple of weeks. It's kind of busy because of Christmas and everything, but maybe it'll start after the new year. I don't know. But we got 3 new DJs coming. Appreciate Sassy Chicks New and Rustic Trading Post helping us out and believing in us and allowing us to be part of their family and, you know, the opportunity to work together here as small businesses. We appreciate that. Yeah, I think that's about it. Let me play a little bit of tunage here, and we will end the day. We have quite a bit going on. Check out Unite Ohio. We're on Google, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, everywhere. Check out the 3% Militia here in Ohio. Check out our Sovereigns. We'll be meeting, I believe, Saturday. I'll post all of the information for that on my website or on Unite Ohio on Facebook. And then tomorrow I'll read over the list of events that we have. So, all right, you guys, enjoy the song. And I will see you tomorrow on Diametric Opposition.
I remember when I lost my mind.
There was something so pleasant about that place. Even your emotions had to let go. There's so much space. Out where? But it wasn't because I didn't know enough. I just knew too much.
Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy?
Now who do you think you are? Ha ha ha, bless your soul. Really think you're in control? Well,
I think you're crazy.
I think you're crazy. I think you're crazy. Just like me. Just like me. All right, guys. Have a good one. I'll catch you on the flip side. Bring me your news, bring me your stories, and I'll put them on there. Take her easy.